Sandra, welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you and yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as we go along if you're enjoying the content. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this wonderful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and a Celebration of Asexual Diversity, and they are real life asexual stories too. I'm also a founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexuals Academy, and I was a speaker at the UK Asexuality Conference last year in 2008. So if you've just joined me, tonight's going to be an absolutely awesome episode. Happy Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month, day 11. Today we're going to discuss what the biggest fears are for asexuals being asexual. So what asexuals fear the most about being asexual. If you didn't know what Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month is, it's celebrating our diversity across the asexual spectrum and our differences within it. And it all stemmed from this book I wrote published in 2017, which is basically, this book is to celebrate our diversity across the spectrum, our differences within it, and to show each other and to explain basically what asexuality is in asexuals' own terms and what we really think of love, life and sex, rather than people dictating to us what we think it is. So I'm going to be reading from my book tonight. Every day for the whole month of July, I read excerpts from my Asexual Perspectives book to celebrate Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month. So today we're going to be talking about what do asexuals fear the most, and I think it's a really important topic to discuss. So the question I asked the 47 asexuals in the book, well, you asked me in the end, so 46 asexuals plus me, what's your deepest fear, concern or worry about being asexual? So I've selected a series of answers for discussion. So this is Andy P's story. Their deepest concern or fear and worry about being asexual is that I'm not specific to my brand of asexual at all, and I'm actually just incapable of creating strong connections with other people. That there is something profoundly wrong with me that can never be adjusted enough to be independent, essentially good, useful member of society. Sometimes it's hard to get out of that headspace and remind myself that none of those worries matter when I'm as happy as I am. And I think that's another thing I did with my book, is to celebrate our differences across the asexual spectrum, our variety of asexual orientations, if you like, because, I don't fit, I do fit into the heteromantic box exactly, in the fact that I am definitely a romantic person, asexual, who's just attracted to guys only, not women, not any other gender, but guys. And I am also, I have been attracted to a trans guy before who was Indian, but in the main I'm attracted to, guys. It has to be guys, do you know what I mean? And so I get attracted to guys only. I am romantic, but I'm a hyper romantic. So I'm excessively romantic, which doesn't fit into the normal hetero romantic box. And I'm also got high arousal levels. So a lot of the time I feel like I'm, that my behavior when kissing is very sexual, yet I have no desire to have sex whatsoever. So I kind of feel a bit stuck really with my behavior not living up to some of the expectations of others in terms of how a asexual would usually behave if they don't want, like, or need sex. So, but at the end of the day, I live my own life. I don't live it how other people want me to live it. It just makes it harder when dating, because I'm not sexual enough for sexual guys, but too sexual in behavior sometimes for some asexual guys. So it just makes it harder, that's all. But I love being the way I am. It's very natural for me the way I am. And so, you just got to be yourself in life, I think, and you've just got to enjoy your own asexuality. So let's move on to the next person. This is Anne's story. And what's your deepest fear, concern, or worry about being asexual? When I first found out about my demisexuality, I immediately discussed the implications with my boyfriend, fretting over whether he would still want me around over someone more, well, typically heterosexual. He made clear that he wouldn't be happier with anyone else. Once that was established, I easily accepted the lot, and it made a lot of my memories make a great deal more sense in retrospect. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult for demisexuals because they are asexual until they form this deep emotional connection with someone that leads to sexual attraction. So the rest of the time, they feel like other asexuals do. They don't get the need, urge, or want with any person in particular for sex. And with a demisexual, only when this strong, deep emotional bond has been formed can they actually, have sex. So it's very, very difficult, I think, for demisexuals. They kind of like a bit stuck as well sometimes, and I think it's hard. And I think it is really difficult for demisexuals because they can't, they can be fully sexual, but they can't until they've kind of, how can I put it? They've kind of got to live their asexual journey until they find the very rare one or few people that they can experience sexual attraction with and for. So they don't fit into normal society either, in the sense they don't just see someone and want sex with them. They don't experience sexual attraction in the normal way. So I do think it's very difficult for demisexuals, and I have a lot of patience and respect for them and for their difficulties, so that's how come they're part of the asexual spectrum, because they can't just experience sexual attraction just like that with anyone. Okay, so 5 Mark 2N story, who watches this channel. Hi Martin, if you're watching. So what's your deepest fear, concern, or worry about being asexual? More stress, too many changes in life at once, if I were to come out, that is, and not being taken seriously about it. And I think that is, a lot of people's fear and worries is that, what happens if they do come out about being asexual? They think it's going to really change their life, but it could change their life for the better. And, you can't always live in fear. If you live in fear, living a life half lived, do you understand what I mean? And so you're not really coming out as your true self to people. And I think it's important to be true to who you are and to realize your full potential in all your asexual glory. You're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken. It's just a matter of you being really confident about being you and who you are and not worrying about what people think, including, those people nearest and dearest to you. If they can't accept you for who you are, it's their problem at the end of the day, not yours. I know it becomes your problem if you're still living at home and it's your parents that don't agree with it. Unfortunately, my parents are good about my asexuality, but not everyone's are, and I do get that. But you really need to take that leap of faith and try it. I mean, just living in fear all the time and not coming out and looking at the negatives, that's rather a negative, to not being taken seriously about. I mean, there's going to be probably changes, but it might not be too many changes. I mean, your parents or family might have already guessed you're asexual. Do you know what I mean? And not being taken seriously about it. Like, if you are serious when you are talking to coming out as asexual to your family friends, if you're serious but confident and self-assured about it, that is the best way to deal with coming out about being asexual. It's when we lack self-confidence, it's when we're underconfident ourselves about our asexuality, that our people who around us can try and influence us more, can try and squash us down because our voice is not loud enough. Do you know what I mean? So we really need to be coming out as asexual and just be bold and be brave and do it. You get people around you, even if it's just online, people that are asexual in forums, on websites, in groups. And that you can, if someone says to you, well, that's ridiculous, asexuality doesn't exist, well, you can say, well, it does exist because I speak to asexuals on a regular basis. I speak to loads of them. I'm in forums which has got asexuality.org's got over 60,000 people on it. I'm sure it's a lot more now. Asexual asexuality.com has got over 50,000 members, you know, which is a dating website for asexuals, you know, and it's like, there's t-shirts out for asexuals, there's books out for asexuals. If asexuality didn't exist, wasn't real, there wouldn't be these products, there wouldn't be videos like this out there. So of course it exists, and you just build your case before you even speak to anyone about asexuality. Build your case, build your evidence for why we do exist, why we are real, you know. If they want to be ignorant, these people, that's up to them. But you know, you've just got to, whatever they say, keep repeating it. There's this psychology thing where if you keep repeating the same thing over and over again, people get ingrained into their brain, or they get fed up and give up, you know. So if you keep saying, I am asexual, I love being asexual, I hang out with asexuals, I go to an asexual meetup, I organize asexual meetups, you know, whatever you do, I got this asexual book, I got this asexual t-shirt. And you really have to live your truth. You really have to, you know, kind of put it in people's faces. So when you come out, you've got to be brave about it. But yeah, be really bold, be really confident. You know, come out, buy yourself a t-shirt if you want, you know, but get good at being confident. It's a lack of confidence where people notice that and they think, they're quivering in their voice. They're not actually sure. I think they're wrong. I think they're just going through a phase, so I will tell them so. And then you feel like being small and kind of carrying down, like, oh well, I know it's right, but these people, they don't understand, and you know, they don't get it, and so I don't know what to do now. What you do is you be confident. You say, I'm asexual. You know, even to introduce it, you don't even have to say the word asexual. Just say, I'm not interested in sex. That's not my thing. You know, that's what you can say. And every time they go try and influence you, just say, no, I'm not interested. I like being different. I'm good. If you try and object to your own asexuality and put obstacles in your own way towards it, then it's not going to help you. You know, you have to be confident in your asexuality. You have to be self-assured with it. You have to be, no matter what anyone else says, you are who you are, and that's it. It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. Just always remember that, and think of things positively. There might be, you know, you might come out as asexual and might be, well, I've always known that, and you might be able to talk about it more freely and be open and honest and have a better chance of getting a good relationship for you, you know. So Darcy's story. My deepest fear used to be that there was something wrong with me, that I was damaged somehow. Then I worried that no one would ever want to be with me without the guarantee of sex as part of the relationship. I worried that I would be pressured to have children. I worried that my high libido would be mistaken for my interest. I worried that my high libido would be I can't even speak tonight. I worried that my high libido would be mistaken for interest in sex. I mostly worried that no one would accept me. And I think that's what's so difficult. If you have a high sex drive, or if you have, in my case, high arousal levels, you know, I mean, I don't say I have a high sex drive because I have no drive for sex. Sex drive usually means a drive for sex. Do you know what I mean? Whereas being aroused is a response to physical, or in my case, mental stimuli, you know, and bodily functions. So a sex drive really is to do with wanting, you know, being driven to have sex, which I'm not. So I think that's a danger. You know, I mistook my own arousal levels for years as sexual attraction. I didn't know the difference until I came across asexuality. I thought it was all the same thing. I thought sex went with romance. I thought you had to have sex as part of a relationship because that's what was drummed into me from a kid. I knew that gay love was fine because I lived around the corner from two guys who were in a relationship, still are to this day, who are gay. So I was brought up that gay love's fine. And so that was good. So I wasn't a typical normal heterosexual that had been brought up to think that anything else outside of heterosexuality was wrong, which is good. That's a good thing. But you know, there's been a lot of times in my life, well, throughout the whole time I was with sexuals, that I thought I was the heterosexual that just didn't like sex, because there are people that are heterosexual and sex repulsed. But I had sex in the past. You know, I just didn't really like it that much. Wasn't really interested in it. I didn't get the urge for it. I'd rather have been doing other things. And so it's not like I can't have it. I felt the whole sensation. You know, like some asexuals say they feel disassociated from sex, they feel detached from it when they have it. They feel like they're just going through the motions, or there's like some outsider looking in on themselves, or some outsider just going through the motions. That's not the same for me. When I've had sex in the past, I felt every bit of it. It's very emotional for me, a hugely emotional thing. I feel every single bit of it, just like a sexual person would. I'm no different in terms of physical feeling and being in the moment than a sexual person is overall. However, you know, I can think of other things I'd rather be doing. But you know, when I was having sex, I didn't, you know, I'd rather have had it with the TV off and things like that, so I can just concentrate on the partner, because I liked kissing and cuddling. And you know, with my ex that was good at sex, he, you know, like was doing loads of stuff with me that I enjoyed without the intercourse. So, but obviously with him, it led to intercourse a lot of the time, not all the time. So you know, it's important to know the difference, and I wish I'd known the difference between arousal and sexual attraction, but I think it would have made my life hard, because it is hard when you are aroused and you love physical kissing as much as I do, and you love the passion of a relationship, but you just don't want the sex. It's really difficult. Like, I think, you know, if you're an asexual who's not bothered about a relationship, you couldn't care less whether you had one or not, or you don't want a relationship, you just rather stay single. I think it's you know, you haven't got the other stuff to worry about. Whereas with me, I just find it difficult to find a guy who's as into kissing as I am, who's young, you know, like in his 20s. I like foreign guys, but even a British guy would be fine if I found the right cute British guy for me, you know, and who wanted the same type of relationship as me, very loving, very best friends, very soulmate, very, you know, taking on the world together and life together. And I just, you know, I find it difficult. I think a lot of asexuals find it difficult, but it is possible. I believe everyone has an asexual person out there for them. It's very, very possible. And to get a relationship, one of my friends, he's getting married to his asexual fiance next month, so I'm so excited for him, you know. But I think it's hard as an asexual, you know. There is a lot of fears you can have about it, and I don't fear being asexual at all. I don't fear being asexual. I don't fear my asexuality. What I find difficult is getting a suitable match in terms of relationship. And it might be that I'm just not suited to be in a relationship. Well, certainly not at the moment. I haven't found the right guy for me. I very, very much have not found the right guy for me to be in a relationship with. And at the moment, I've got no one that comes close who's hetero romantic like me, you know? No one who comes close to my ideal guy. But that's fine, because the world's my oyster and it's early days yet. I'm still young. So it's really important, you know, to understand your fears, understand what's valid fears, what isn't fears, understand what you fear from other people, but you're actually afraid of yourself. You know, and I think being aroused a lot of the time but having no desire for sex is really hard, because they're just quite contradictory factors, you know. It's very, very difficult. But you know, I think there's some asexuals do have sort of like things that look contradictory that can be difficult for them to deal with. But don't keep these things bottled inside. Don't pretend to be something else. I'm not sat here pretending I'm an asexual who doesn't get aroused. Like, I could sit here saying, yes, I'm what every person thinks an asexual should be, which is I just want a really, you know, strong platonic friendship with someone, partner, and I don't experience any sexual attraction, which is true, and I don't experience any arousal. I don't want to do sexual acts. I just want a partner to like kiss a little bit on the lips and maybe cuddle a bit, watch TV with, you know, that's kind of a stereotypical thing that some people believe asexuals should be, and it's just not who I am. You know, I'm a very passionate person. I'm very into kissing. I'm into sensually touching the top part of a guy's body, not the bottom half from the waist down. And I'm into like being really cute and cuddly with my guy, and living that loved up life. I'm very, very passionate, very, very sensual at the top half of the body. I'm very loving, very affectionate person, and someone who gets aroused a lot. It's like it annoys me sometimes because like I've got better things to do with my life than be aroused, but it's because sometimes it comes at inappropriate moments. But all you can do is be yourself as an asexual. Whatever type of asexual, all you can do is be you, enjoy your asexual life journey, try and not to worry and have many fears. Just know that your asexuality is non-negotiable. It's who you are at the end of the day. You don't have to negotiate who you are for anyone. You are who you are. You'll always be who you are. And I think it's really important to know that you're loved, you're cared for just as you are, and you're absolutely amazing. So go out and be the asexual that you were born to be. Think of positive stuff rather than fears. Instead of thinking of everything negative that might happen if you come out or if you be yourself, think about all the positive things. Think about all the other asexuals you'll connect with throughout the globe. Think of all the other people that you'll inspire by coming out and being you. Think of the people around you that might discover they're asexual as well once you come out. Think of all the loving, caring relationships that you can have with more respect going forward for you that you don't want, like, or need sex. Think of all the these questions that you get asked, about why you haven't got a relationship. If you don't want a relationship because you're asexual and an asexual doesn't want a relationship, you can stop having all those stupid questions coming your way. Do you know what I mean? Or at least not from people you know. So anyway, keep being beautiful you. Keep being the asexual, beautiful, gorgeous person you're born to be. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you love it, please share it with a friend. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to subscribe, like I said, and tune in for the next live stream or video. Take care, embrace your quirky and each other's. Bye bye. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up.